Hiya, and welcome to this week's After Tilting, where we're working with this lovely underwater image from the song Far the Days Come by Letterbox. Another nice, slightly longer song, so we have a little more time to deal with these pieces, deal with these pictures. We have a couple of fun new tools we're playing with, as well as the return of our standard tools. So as always, we've got our whole brush to do the rocks, just because it's very quick and easy to make our large shapes. So our hull brush, making quick, simple shapes that are three-dimensional, nice and solid, so we can build up the landscape very quickly. The kelp itself was done with green paper. We have this paper tool, which you can see, again, it gives nice light and shadow. We can also make it varying thickness. So all I did was a couple of green lines going up, all clustered at the base to give it that kelp feeling. I then used the selection tool to select the kelp and duplicate it. So we can put more and more stalks of kelp in different places, rotate them so they look slightly different from the different directions, that type of thing. So it's not quite as obvious that they're all the same thing. Didn't need that one. So paper tool, just in green. I did change to a darker green for the ones in back just to give a little more depth. The bubbles, a fun little tool that just makes bubbles of varying sizes, varying colors. So I'm going to switch to a bright green and give us some green bubbles here, just so you can see how they're painted in. And you can see they sit there and wobble a little bit when they're in the place. Again, trying to keep the motion, keep the feeling of underwater. A little too many bubbles there. There we go. So the bubble tool, the size of the bubble tool isn't really as important. So you can see, even though I'm changing the size on the control, the bubbles don't really change size. I can get little tiny bubbles, slightly larger bubbles. If I make the whole world tiny, now I can try doing some big bubbles. And at normal size, you can see we got these gigantic bubbles floating around. So the bubbles is a fun tool for giving environment, giving space, and giving it just a little bit more motion as well. Bubbles, hull, and paper. The fish is using the tapered marker tool because when you paint with it, one end is big, the other end gets pointed. So it's a very quick, easy suggestion of a fish shape to get the school of fish in very quickly. Painting a bunch of those lines in roughly the same direction gives that whole school of fish type of feeling. Again, to help with the depth, not only did I paint them at various levels, but I have the foreground ones, I used a brighter orange, so they pop a little more, like sunlight's coming down. And the background lower ones are a darker color, just to give it a little more depth, just so they pop out just a little bit more. I use the same tool to build our shark. So you can see, if I draw it out using that same tool, you can get that nice sharky curve. Can't overdo it because then it looks like an eel. Plus, we can use these tools for doing the sharp fins, tail, that type of thing. Very quick and easy way. That's more of a dolphin over my shark. But that's a quick and easy way to get these pieces out and give it that little more organic shape. So it's not the flat lines, but it feels a little more loose, a little more alive. This was a lot of fun to do. It's tricky because we're trying to keep the camera angles. There's a lot going on, but I wanted to make sure you could see all those details. Get the shark, get the fish, that type of thing. If this is a really long piece, we could try doing anemones and stuff, make it really like the blue, but instead we're just going for a quick speed painting for this song. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun painting it. Go ahead and hit like if you did, and if you want to, you can subscribe to get our weekly episodes as they come out. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again next week.